You remember what my mother and I told you. You may be here as Ted's guest, but you mean nothing to the Duprees. And you never will.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Hi, I am Shar and I am your recap auntie, here to recap episode number 51. I just finished watching that shit. And when I tell you it keeps getting better and better, you know that song, every round goes higher and higher. I swear this show gives us that high. Whew. I'm just like, Anastasia? Anastasia, where do you come from, girl? You're looking like my picture right here. No shade, though. No shade. But we'll talk about Miss Anastasia, honey. She's in my thumbnail. You have, girl, when you did this, I was out. When you said, I was like, oh, we doing that. Anyway, we opened up with episode. Let me calm down. That was a lot today. And let's get started. Episode 51, Martin. Now, when they showed Martin at the beginning of this damn episode, we didn't see him. We just saw the outside of his apartment. And we hear him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Martin? What's going on? What is we doing, Martin? Okay, somebody's fussing outside my window. But what is we doing, Martin? What is we doing? So they show him in the bed having one of them dreams. I was like, whew, Lord. Thought y'all was flipping on me, Beyond the Gates. Oh, we here for Beyond the Gates Moo review. You know, laptop, everything we hear. Yeah, that kind of made me a little nervous about that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So Nicole and Danny, Danny comes over to Nicole's house and says that she can face people right now. So Danny can recall spending days in the darkened rooms. Do not let Ted dim your light. So Nicole just needs some time to grieve over her marriage. And Danny tells Nicole that, girl, Mother and I told Eva and Ted's ass off. I'm sure they have gone to the ER to get treatment for all of the emotional wounds that we did to their bodies, honey. Their heart, mind, and soul. They have nothing left. Because they did now. They ripped them a new hole. So Nicole tells her that she don't need her baby sis fighting offense for her. If it were up to her, everybody would be gathered at the house, the entire family. And we would just hibernate with each other. And so Danny was like, hell no. She tells her that you need to rejoin the world, honey. Don't let them keep you locked up in this house. You don't need to be ashamed of anything. The Duprees don't run. We sure as hell don't hide either. So Nicole is like, you were not this upbeat when you found out about Bill and Haley. And Danny was like, girl, you're much smarter and wiser than I am. Look, fake it till you make it. I found out that shit really does work. Now go outside. Come on, I want you to go ahead and get dressed. And I will be by your side every step of the way. So Nicole says, okay, she decides, okay, I'm going to go. Where are we going? It's a surprise. So Danny knows that she's not the type of person to give up on people. So, oh my God, Nicole and Danny. Oh, well, like I said, I love the fact that Danny is like a really ride or die sister. You know, you have some relatives that when you go through things, they be like, girl, let her go through that shit by herself. We ain't gonna be there. But I love that Danny is there for her. So Danny and her arrive. They really look cute together. And what we don't know is that Ted had invited Eva there, looking like I didn't like that outfit that Eva had on. I really didn't. Eva has never dressed like that. That's how Kat dresses. I could see Kat with that. It was cute. Now, it was a cute little, bubblegum pink corporate type of outfit, but it just didn't fit her. It didn't look good on. I mean, I didn't like it. She could have had Pinky on there and it would have been fine. I just didn't like it. It just was too girly for me. And she's more boho chic. That's her. She's very, earthy. I didn't like it. But anyway, they get there. And so, oh my God, Danny and then Nicole show up at the country club. And you know that Ted and damn Eva is already sitting there. So Ted is at the country club. And Eva, like I said, is all dressed up in this innocent bubblegum pink soft suit. And she looks really cute, but like I said, I just didn't like it on her. He says that he's done, he said he's done hiding, and he's also a member of this same country club and deserves to be there, and she does too. So Vanessa is there on the phone. She gets a text from Joey saying, I hope you had a dream about me last night. Like, girl, whatever. So she sees Ted and Eva coming to the country club. So Anastasia, honey, she was just looking across the room, because I thought that Eva was talking about Vanessa looking at them. No, it's Anastasia. I don't never remember them talking about no damn Anastasia being there. So she just looking. So Eva said, I can't eat that good because that lady over there is staring at us so fucking hard. So Ted is like, just let her do it. She's the town gossip. I want everyone to get used to seeing us together, father and daughter. So Eva is trying to get used to saying that. He tells her she will, and he has a plan to launch the next chapter of her life. So he got in touch with a celebrity salon owner in DC, and he took the liberty of renting one of their stations out for her to do hair. And he's just swaying like he just did something real huge, you know. So she thanks him, but she don't want to do no hair. She really found her calling in being a personal assistant, and that's what she wants to do. So he tells her, I mean, Kate, you know, you were great, girl. You were good. However, all of those future employers will want to know why you left your last job. And she was like, oh yeah, that part. You're right. Let me get my hands ready to do some hair. And so he said, I'm sure that you'll get back to that opportunity again. But in the meantime, in the between time, you're going to be a hairdresser, boo. So Eva says that maybe some of the women here at the club will be some of her new clients. And then we see Danny and Nicole enter the country club, and Nicole is shocked to see him there with Eva while Vanessa is in the background looking on. Ted immediately stands up, and he is so happy to see Nicole. He tells her how great she looks, and she did look good. She really looked good. And Vanessa rushes over there and tells her, girl, I got some tea to spill. So she pulls over to the table. So Danny is still there at the table with Ted, and she says, is your hearing as defective as your fucking morals, nigga? Vanessa was like, girl, I was just trying to get you away from Ted. So Nicole was like, my brain knows that he has to get to know his daughter better, but seeing them is making my heart split into two pieces. She just wishes that Vanessa had some gossip to distract her. So Vanessa tells her that, I could complain about how Doug didn't tell me where his ass was last night. And Nicole was like, girl, that is way too close to home. I do not want to hear about no shit. She's like, that's right. So I want to, damn. Okay, open mouth, insert designer shoe. Like, put her foot in her mouth. So she tells Nicole she thinks that Doug has something more going on with just that fucking hand. Knowing him, he might be doing something that's very self-destructive that he don't want me to know about. Now, we all know that Nicole knows, and they didn't show her on the camera when she mentioned that, but I guess it was doctor-patient privilege, so she's not at liberty to share, but I think Vanessa's going to be pissed with her when she finds out, like, look, you knew all about my side. Why you didn't tell me about my husband? You knew I was accusing him for cheating on me, but you knew the truth. I think they're going to have, like, a little falling out. So we're back to Danny. Danny is talking to Ted and tells him, I thought I made it clear how much your infidelity devastated Nicole, and yet you are here throwing your illegitimate daughter in her face. And he didn't think that Nicole was going to be here. I mean, both you and your mammy told me how devastated she was, and she couldn't get her ass off the couch. And Danny was like, so now it's Nicole's fault for trying to have a life that doesn't include your ass. And Ted was like, you can blame yourself for having me here this morning. Remember, you told me that I needed to man up. So here I am with my daughter, manning up. So Danny is taking, she's like, okay, and that was a read. So Danny is taking her breakfast at the country club taking her to breakfast at the country club that your wife attends is not trying to man up. Don't break out any Father of the Year awards just yet, nigga. So Danny says, remember what my mom and I told you. And I think I played that at the very beginning. Remember, she said this to Eva, remember what my mom and me told your ass. You may be here as a guest of Ted's, but you mean nothing to the Duprees, and you never will. And then she walked away. I'm like, why are you treating that little girl like that, girl? You a bully, Danny. I love you, though, but you a bully. So Danny goes to the table where Vanessa and Nicole are and tell them that she just told Ted and his daughter that they don't belong here. Nicole is like, girl, that man is a member. We can hardly expect him to stay away forever. And Vanessa was like, fuck, I can. So Danny was like, he should be ashamed to show his face. Double for Eva. So Nicole is like, look, it's not her fault that he brought her here. So Anastasia comes over. Nicole, darling, I heard about what happened at your anniversary party. It's not like I was invited, but I know what I was told, and it is the hot topic on the tennis courts and the spa. And Danny was like, I'm sure that you discussed it with every possible person. And Anastasia was like, my heart bleeds for you. She dismissed Danny. She ain't even like, fuck you, Danny. My heart bleeds for you, Nicole. My first divorce was a mess, so I know exactly what you're going through. We betrayed gals have to stick together, don't we? You too, Danny. Between Ted, and Bill, you Dupree woman really know how to pick 'em. Nicole is like, okay, I'm going to take my ass home, because she left. So Vanessa was like, I would not allow Ted and, worst of all, Anastasia to rush you out of here. So Danny was like, nope, your ass is going to stay right where you are. Have your mimosa and every bite of that damn Eggs Benedict. So back to Ted and Eva. He tells her that Danny and Anita should not have ambushed her like that, which I agree. So Eva was like, I know they have every reason to hate me, but I wish they would just leave me the fuck alone. So here come Anastasia again. The snake comes over and introduces, hi, I'm Anastasia. And Eva was like, very nice to meet you, moving back. So Anastasia's like, congratulations on your promotion from personal assistant to long lost daughter. It's like a real Cinderella story, although I doubt you would ever be the belle of the ball, because it looks like your fairy godmother dressed you like a church lady. I was like, girl. Then she sachets off like she was getting some attention. Oh, hey, baby. I was like, girl, where you come from? But we shady like that. So Ted wanted to tell Anastasia off, and Eva was like, no, I don't belong here. And she rushes out, and Ted calls out to her, but she doesn't turn around. So Eva arrives at Orphe Jean's, and we'll talk about that later. I come back. Let me go down to Jan. Leslie and Jan and Mona, all three of them were close. So Leslie comes into Orphe Jean's, which, side note, I'm not too sure if you know, but the writer of the show, her name is Michelle Jean, I think that's her name. Her mother's name is Orphe Jean, so that's the name of the restaurant. I thought that was a really sweet. She did that as a memory, in memory of her mom for Mother's Day, so I thought that was sweet. So Leslie comes into Orphe Jean's, and Jan tells her that Mona told her everything. Don't be coming in here. Don't be coming to sit with me, bitch. Get the fuck away from my table. So Leslie's like, of course Mona is mad. She practically got her head up the Dupree's asses. And then some white dude is in the background just ear jocking. I was like, who that? Who that listening in the background? Somehow Martin is there eating, because remember, he was up having them that bad dreams, and somehow he got up real quick, and he was meeting Vernon there later on to talk about the dreams. So I was like, damn, he moved fast out of that bed. So Leslie talking about how she didn't think things would have changed between the two of them. And Jan was like, everything did damn change. So Jan is like, everything about you was a lie. And she just repeated everything was all she knew. And just repeated everything of what we all knew. That's what I wrote. Everything about the lying, all the cheating, all of that. So how she used Eva, and how Eva is really her daughter and not the lady that some lady died and she took care of Eva. And Leslie is looking at her like real confused. So Leslie tells Jan, there are two sides to every story. So Jan is like, yeah, look, yours is the lying side, and hers, Mona's, is the damn truth. So Leslie's like, it's because Ted and Nicole signs her fucking paychecks. Looking all innocent and broken. That's what she was looking like. So she goes through the same sob story about Ted dumping her, and he told her that he loved her, but when he found out about the baby, he wanted to get rid of it, blah, 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 blah. You know how she does. Everybody know the story. So she asked Jan that she must understand, and so she was just using the stories that Jan had Ashley young. She had her really young, and people didn't think that it was a good choice in her keeping it because she was so young when she got pregnant with Ashley. So Leslie is trying to make that connection to that common non-abortion route, you know. So Jan lets a tear drop out of her eye, and then Leslie is like, come on, Jan, you know, girl, you know me. So Jan is like, I never lied to my child about their pappy, and I would never have included her in some convoluted revenge plot. You don't act out of love, Leslie. You act out of fucking hate. And I don't want to be your friend. If you're going to eat breakfast here, then take your ass somewhere else. Go sit over there. I was like, ooh. And she did too. So we see Vernon and Martin. They meet there, and Vernon was on the phone, and he walks right past Leslie. I'm surprised he didn't see her. And again, that white dude is sitting in the background, listening to everybody. So Martin tells him about the dreams are getting worse, and he changes his mind that he will not run for president. I wish you was, honey. I wish you were. Lord knows I wish you were in real life. So Vernon asks him, why the change? So Martin said, just because of his parents' marriage falling apart. Vernon is like, I hope that you're not blaming yourself for that. Martin was like, no. He just went to go see his mom, and watching her struggle after everything that his dad has did and put her through. He don't want to put her through no more shit, especially because of the secret that he's hiding. So he just don't want, and he wants to be able to have dinner with his husband with no problems. And he wants to be able to, you know, just have a normal life. He tells him that the more pieces that the dream comes together, like the lights and the colors of money. No, he said the lights and the sounds and the sirens and stuff. And somebody made a statement about what color is that money now or something like that. And so Vernon was like, oh shit, you heard that? You know, he didn't say that, but that's the look that he had on his face. Like, damn, you remember that? So he feels like not running for president might alleviate the nightmares. But then Vernon was like, you know, what if they get worse? What if they don't stop? And Vernon was like, hell, I don't know what to tell you. And we see awkward, damn, Ashley and Derek. She don't like it. His shit is on the floor. They got to figure out who gonna take a shower what time. They didn't fuck last night, so it's a problem. And before the end of the damn show, they wound up fucking. So we know them. We met them on episode number 1 doing that, so that ain't nothing new. Vanessa, Dougie, and Joey. I could tell you, like, Vanessa was texting him, and Joey, he's talking about, did you dream about me last night? And she's at the country club having her tea. She calls Doug while he's at the casino, because again, I told you earlier that he didn't come home last night. He lied, talking about he's hanging out with some friends. Who that you hanging out with, boo? Nobody that you know. Okay, whatever. So she gets mad, and so Joey comes to the casino, and Doug is about to leave, and Joey was like, no, don't rush off. We gotta take care of some business, and we got a problem that needs to be solved. So he pretty much tells Dougie that he wants his money with interest, and Dougie comes up with some shitload of like bad night excuses at the table and stuff like that. So he was like, if you don't win, then I won't be able to pay you a fraction of what I owe. So Joey tells him that he could steal some painkillers from the hospital, but you ain't ready for prison, honey. I've been there. The way you look, baby, you won't be ready for that. They'll rip your ass apart. So Joey keeps pushing him. He said, I got an idea. Your wife, we know she got a shitload of money. You need to talk to her. What you mean? I'm not going to tell my wife that I have a gambling addiction. Well, you don't have to tell her that, but we know she got a real estate company. What, you want to buy houses? Man, your hand is fucked up, but I thought your brain would be straight. So he pretty much tells him, he figures out that, oh, you want to use Vanessa's business to launder money? Like, yes, ding, 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 ding. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. He was like, well, you better figure it out. He's like, you got 1 week to pay this debt with interest. If not, then you gonna find out what's going to happen to you more than just your fucking hand. And he looks a little scared. So let's get to Leslie cutting a fool in Orphe jeans. It's like her brain is like, it's gone. So devastated. I can't. Okay, let me go down. So yeah, Anastasia trips me out. Again, Eva leaves. So Eva arrives at Orphe Jeans, and she sees Leslie there, because remember, she just had an argument with Jan about her being a mom. Everybody keeps throwing this in her face about being a mom. I'm gonna give you what I've heard in these streets. So I don't know if you guys would agree or not, but You know, these are soap operas. Anything can happen. So she gets there and tells her that, Mom, you were right. I don't belong in the Dupree's world. I don't know how to dress. I don't know how to act. I miss us when it's just me and you against the world. And Leslie looks at her like, yeah, I miss it too. So Eva says, please understand that I was under so much pressure. And Leslie's like, oh, honey, I know you were. And Eva says, I felt so torn. I just wanted to make you happy. And so she reaches out to Leslie, and Leslie pulls her hand back. I said, oh, okay. She said, but I didn't want to hurt my father. And Leslie's like, why do you give a damn about hurting him? The white dude is listening in the background. Leslie's like, I fucking raised you. He abandoned you. And he was like, stop saying that. Ted didn't even know about me. And Leslie says, because he wanted me to get rid of your ass. She getting louder and louder in the damn restaurant. And you want to sit here and take his side over mine? I'm the fucking victim here. That man destroyed my life. So Eva was like, I know that's how you see it, but please. I realized that you were just telling me things to manipulate me. Oh, girl. Stop saying that word. It is a manipulation when I expect my daughter to help and protect me. So Eva was like, in the heat of the moment, I made a choice at the anniversary party, but that choice doesn't mean that I stopped loving you. Mom, can't you find it in your heart to just let me come back home, please? Please, Mama, please let me come back home. Leslie turned around and gave her a death stare. Everybody in the restaurant is listening, even Vernon and Martin. She's like, hell no, you can't come home. You betrayed me, and there is no coming back from that. And Jan is looking on. Remember, she played that, oh, I love my daughter shit earlier. She says, besides, Daddy Teddy told me that he got your ass a room at the hotel, and he's going to hook you up with an apartment. Go on, girl. Look at you living the life with your parent, with the parent that you chose. So she says, do me a favor, Eva. Don't give me another thought. So she kind of gets up and sits to the side. Leslie does. And Eva's sitting there crying. So Martin, he has a heart. Martin is mean as fuck, but he has a heart. He comes over to her and tells her that was way out of line how Leslie treated her. And she wishes that she could have grown up with parents. That's what she tells Martin, that she wishes that she could have grown up with parents with Ted and Nicole. So Martin says that she didn't deserve to be spoken to like that. So while she's sitting over there, mad and fuming mad, Vernon comes over to Leslie and tells her that he will never forgive her for what she did to his family. Dana, Leslie, or what name you using today. But for now, I pity your ass. She's like, excuse me. Vernon says, in time, you'll realize that rejecting the only person that loves you is a big mistake. But by then, it'll be too late. She rolls her eyes, please, and turns around and gives him 0 fucks. She's like, please, fuck you. Fuck you, Vernon. V. Dupree. So Jan comes over and tells Leslie, hey, girl. And Leslie's like, hey, girl, I knew you would come over and change your mind. And Jan was like, see, she cannot believe how you just spoke to Eva just now. I don't understand how a mother can turn her back on her own child. And Leslie's like, oh, please stop your bitching and save it for Mona at your next gossip session. Then the two of you can clutch your pearls until your heart's content. You, Mona, Ted, and Dupree's, and every damn body in this bitch. Because you know what? I still have some surprises up my motherfucking sleeve. And then she leaves. It's like, I'm going to tell you what I think her surprise is. Of stuff that I heard in the streets. So Vernon tells Martin that I don't like that Leslie running around here so freely. She is chaotic. She is chaos personified. So Martin says, oh, I know for sure I'm not running for president now. Our family has enough shit going on already. So we see Jan leaves, and then the white dude is still there, but then he pays his bill and he walks out behind him because everybody leaves and he walks out behind them. And then we see Eva. She comes back to the country club, and she ran into Ted, and she told Ted that she went to go see her mammy. He's like, I thought you didn't want to see her no more. She's like, I know. I thought there was still some type of chance, but I know that I don't belong with her. I belong right here with my pappy. And they hold hands. And as they were holding hands, talking, we see Nicole, Danny, and Vanessa leaving out from the restaurant. And they see him standing there holding hands with his daughter. And Nicole looks, she was clutching her pearls. So, and that was it. That Anastasia, honey, where'd she come from? Girl, I know you was like, girl, guess what? I know you was burning a hole in your pocket when you was like, I'm on the show, y'all. I'm on the show. You just got to wait and see. I know you had a watch party and everything. Now I got to find out who you are so I can follow you because you were funny. Hopefully they'll bring you back. Because you had the look of being the town gossip. You had the scowl, the eyebrows. Of course, I love the natural hair. You know, you see in the blonde. You know, I love all of that. But girl, you had that. And the Oscar goes to you. But what I've been hearing is that, and I know this is far-fetched, but I have an imagination that's crazy. I've been hearing that because everybody keeps throwing in Leslie's face about her not being a mom. How in the world can a mother do this? Everybody's breaking down to her about her being a mom and mom this and mom that. People are thinking that Eva is really not her daughter. They feel that because there's somebody she's working with. There's somebody Leslie is working with. Because remember when she got the gig to work in the hospital and how she almost fucked up Laura's heart. She asked that person, she's like, hey, I need a favor. Who is she talking to? Who is this person who she's working with behind the scenes that can get her in the hospital and do favors for her? Who is it? You know? So they think that Nicole was so distraught when she had Kat, because she was so distraught about losing all the babies, that she really didn't know that she had twins. And that one night, because remember, they were still kicking it. Leslie, because I think Ted had stopped kicking it with Leslie right around the time that she was pregnant with the baby. We think that she took one of the babies. I'm saying we because it's possible. We think that she took one of the babies and raised it as her own. But in actuality, that's why Kat has such like intuition with not really believing Eva when she showed up. And they're polar opposites, but they're sort of alike a little bit. So we think that there's a possibility that Leslie knew that Nicole had twins and Nicole doesn't remember it, or she was told that she only had one child and in actuality she had two, and that Leslie took Eva and raised her. But in actuality, that's not her baby. That's why Leslie was able to have the genealogy, everything was matching. Because Nicole was saying in the last episode, yeah, I saw how everything matches and it's perfect. So that's what they think. That's what they think. So it could be that Eva and Kat are twins. Don't beat me, y'all. Look, my damn laptop is broke. Don't beat me. I was like, okay, that could be. I'm gonna get off of here in 30 minutes. But that could be. Because she did say, before she left, she said she told Jan and them that she had another surprise up her sleeve. I think I said that. She snapped her fingers. And so this is a surprise that even Eva doesn't know about. And I think it's because that's not her biological daughter. She stole that baby from Ted because she wanted to have a part of him. And she thought that bringing the baby back would bring him back into her life as her man. And that's the rumor. I don't know, but I will see y'all in the next video, episode number 52. I am loving this journey and I hope you are too. Please comment below. Tell me your thoughts. I'm loving it. I do see the same people and I thank y'all, my two who always be talking. But I want to also hear from other people to see what you have to say. And I'm growing. I'm at 900 subscribers. I'm growing. I'm going to get in my 1,000 before I know it. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm just loving this. I'm loving that we at the beginning, we having a good time. We know the characters and the people, these extra people that they adding on. Anastasia, girl, you trouble. All right, y'all. Did I talk about, you know what? No, I didn't talk about the mouth. Let me go back. I'm going to go off the top of my brain. We talked about Anastasia. So after Eva left, I know y'all like, girl, you forgot about Anastasia. After Eva ran out, they talked about how, you know, she ran out of here like a bat out of hell. And it was like, good for her. And then Anastasia walks over to Ted and is like, oh, I see. I got to look at my notes. Let me put this on pause. BR. Okay, back at the country club, Anastasia comes back to the table and says to Ted, I hope you didn't get upset about your brand new daughter. The way she ran out of here, Ted was like, you got exactly what you wanted. Much more gossip, things that you can gossip about. And she says, oh, I know, I've got a big mouth. It gets me in so much trouble. But I like to make things, but I would really like to make things up to you. So she points at her mouth, honey, talk about her big mouth. And then she asks him if he can make her mouth even bigger. I was like, oh, we doing that? I said, oh my God. She said he can make her mouth bigger. She says, I'd be happy to pay a visit to your clinic for some lip filler. I was like, child. She says, what type would you recommend? And he was like, he just shook his head. And that's when they was talking about, you know, how Eva ran out of there like a bat out of hell. And then Danny was like, one down, then Ted to go. And Nicole thanks them for their support. And she tells them that Andre knew about the affair weeks ago. And Danny was looking like, what the fuck, you know. But you could tell she didn't like that shit. And so, but Nicole feels better. And we finally see her beautiful smile again. And then Ted's break the smile. And he comes over there and he says to her, that he tells her that there's no excuse for what he did, that he can control his future behavior, and she will see him around town. She's gonna see him at the country club. You're gonna see him at the restaurants. You're gonna see him everywhere, and he's gonna prove to everyone that he wants to right his wrong, and he has learned a lot through this. And next year they will be celebrating their anniversary together and in love. The way he delivered that, now if he don't say another line before he leaves on Thursday, he delivered that and I was wet. I was wet. Bye.